Headlight blinding on a rainy night. Steep grade up ahead, slow me down and making no time. Gotta keep on rolling. Those windshield wipers slapping out the tempo. Break the broken rhythm with the song on the radio.
Who's got it on? Not me.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Rideshare Rodeo. I don't know yet. Oh, there it is. How are you all doing tonight? We have the awesome panel tonight. We have Kim's Side Money Plans. We got Gig Work Mama, and we got Tom Kelly. And I don't know. I'm still confused if Tom has changed the handle yet, but to Rideshare. So he's got the domain, you guys, ridesharepodcast.com. But I'm not sure if he's changed his YouTube handle to it.
Not
so if
yet.
you guys are trying to find his channel,
We'll get there.
yeah,
It's
we'll
coming,
get there.
coming soon. Coming soon.
So before we get started, I got three things I want to just tell you guys before we get going. Number one is Dash Theory John. He is done for a while. He'll come back and join us for maybe, like sit in whenever or whatever, but for the next 12 weeks he has no evenings off. He got I think we all know John had a part-time job, like a W-2 in the day where he worked from home, and then he was creating content on the weekend, and he was doing this with us on Thursday nights. Well, I don't even think he got a promotion. I think he got a completely new job that, from what, I was texting and then I talked to him, and from what I know, the job, all I know is the job is really good. He's stoked about it. He's happy. It pays really well, but he's got to do this training stuff. And I think he oddly, he even felt bad about telling me, because he said he loves being here with us so much. I said, John, you're always welcome. I said, but dude, props to you. Like, we're all happy for you. Shouldn't even, God, I mean, we're 2 weeks out from the 2-year anniversary, and John's been with us a long time, not since the beginning, but a long time. Do you remember, Kim? I don't even know. John's been.
It's been at least a year, maybe even
over a year.
Well, congratulations, John. First of all,
but congratulations. Yeah. And he's stoked. I think that's, I know that once all of this is done in 12 weeks, I know this is the first time maybe in his life where he is going to have every weekend off.
Wow, that's huge.
So he's found a life where he's going to get paid a lot of money, and he works no more weekends. And John's somebody he's younger, but he's also hustled weekends like we do, or like we have had to do. Yeah, exactly. And he might have to later in life again, but right now he's got a job that's going to give him weekends off, which is always, when that's your first one, it's always so cool. You kind of enter this new life of like where the people on the weekends are like, where you been? This is what we do.
What's a weekend?
I'm gonna say
What do you call it? A weekend? I've never heard.
It's something like Friday at 5 until like Monday morning. People just don't have to do anything.
Really? I haven't had a weekend off since I was like 19.
Yeah.
I think that was my last weekend off, is when I was 19. That was the last one.
So number 2, Kim is off next week, and I am off next week because I am doing a 2-day search and rescue thing Thursday, Friday. And it just kind of popped up. So Tom and Cheyenne, and we're going to get them some other guests, you guys. So it's going to be a fantastic show. Don't miss it. But they're going to run the show. And then the week after, February 15th, is the 2-year anniversary. And not sure exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to have a couple special guests. One of which I'm just going to say because I'm excited about it, but the other one I'm going to save for a surprise. But the one special guest I'll say is that Gary will be here.
Yay!
And then somebody else, and we'll be doing some giveaways and some other stuff too. So if you've ever watched Roundtable, if you watch it every week, whatever, be here that night. We're going to have fun. That's 2 weeks from tonight. So welcome to February of 2024. And let's see who's in the chat before we jump into some of these topics. What's up, Thomas? How are you? Traveler, how you doing? Edward 6. What is this? 6 minutes left before contract. Oh, for us?
Yeah, that was at 9:04. It was hilarious. Funniest thing ever.
It's what, 10 minutes and it's a contract violation?
Yeah.
Mm.
Even though DoorDash says it's, excessive lateness, so it doesn't tell you 10
Yeah.
minutes, but it's 10 minutes.
Hey, hi, Cynthia.
really think it's
how are
9.
you?
I don't think it's 10.
Hi, Rick. How are you? Hi, Joe. Hey, Ivanaska. How are you? And Edward, yeah, I meant to say hi if I didn't, but I was trying to figure out your comment. What's up, Patrice? And yeah, how you guys all doing? What's up, lurkers? You guys, by the way, lurkers, don't feel weird that everybody has a wrench. Make some comments. Let us get to know you, and I just give them out.
It does.
I always shake my head at you.
I mean, it's not like, I know I've seen, but here's the problem. And I think this is why you did what you did. You kind of had to purge it, Kim. And it wasn't
I
meant to
purged
hurt
everything.
anybody else at all, though. But
I
you had given
have-
out a bunch. Like, that's kind of where I felt like I'm at. But I just don't want to, because
I literally have 6 or 7, and that's it. Moderators. That's it. Wrenches.
yeah,
They're true moderators.
right. I mean, I guess all the people that I have wrenches with, I trust not to do anything stupid. I've never seen anybody delete a comment. I've only seen one person banned, and when I saw what it was for or kicked out, I would have done it too. And then if I go to people banned from the channel, I only have like 7 people blocked, and it's still just 7.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, because I've told other people, I tell everybody enough or you're done. And so maybe they still watch, maybe they don't want to be blocked, but they know better. But there's 7. Yeah.
Oh.
I could probably name 4 of them. I mean, I know I can name 4 of them right away too. I won't do it. If anybody in the chat named well, I was thinking of, I'll give you a $25 Amazon. Gotta get them all though. One, and you only get one try. Hey Chris, what's up? How you doing? What's up, Carnifage? How you doing? So Chris had an interesting curry run. Did we talk about that? Chris got like a triangle curry run from like Tulsa to Wichita to Minneapolis and then back. And the 2 legs going to Minneapolis, he was being the round trip was like 1,300 or like, I can't remember, 1,100 miles for like $1,300 or something. So not sure if he did it. I think he did it. And speaking of that, before we get into any topics, does everybody here know that I went and did a huge curry and then did some other curries, and like my whole weekend's been crazy? Do you know this?
I know about your big one because you did a live on it.
Okay.
Didn't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I left town, yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah, so Friday or Saturday, I got a curry, or Friday I received the curry notice, and it said for Saturday. For some reason, I thought it said 5 a.m. Saturday. And so I'm fine with that, but it said it was and if it's weekends, it can be weird, but it said pick up after 5 p.m. Saturday, which kind of sucked because 5 a.m. I could have made it back here by Sunday to Denver. And because it's 8 hours each way to Wichita from Denver. And because it was after that time, I picked it up. I was probably on the highway by like 6. I got to about 3 hours shy of Wichita, slept at a rest area in my car for a little bit, then drove into Wichita, dropped the load, and now it's Sunday, and it's like 3 hours before the Lions game. And there's no way I'm missing this damn game. And there's no way I'm listening to it on AM radio. No way. But I've been to Kansas City many times, but I've also been to Wichita a couple times, and no offense, people, but I'm just not a fan of that city. I had a situation there once, and it really pissed me off. And yeah. So anyway, I drove north. I didn't go to Kansas City because that would have been going the wrong way. But I drove north back up to 70 from Wichita, which is just a little south. And that's pretty much Topeka. So I got like an $80 hotel room and I went to the bar a block down. I walked so that I could drink. And I walk in, and the second half of the Kansas City game is starting, and it's shoulder to shoulder, and everybody in there is in a Kansas jersey, in a Chiefs jersey.
You went in with a Chiefs jersey in Kansas City?
No, I went in with my Lions jersey. I threw my Lions jersey on and went in worse. There. No, it's even better. Those guys loved me. They loved me because I went in there thinking, like I actually, if you don't know, most people were saying, they thought they had everything figured out. Ravens are going to win, and they're going to beat the Chiefs. So I walked into at the halftime when they were on their roll, and they were all partying. They loved me coming in because as much as maybe some of them even thought the Lions would be an easier team to play if they moved forward, a lot of them literally, honestly, just wanted to see us win. Just like a lot of the country, they were like, "Dude, fuck that, man! You should win too." Like,
try doing that. Try doing that in New York City or New Jersey with the Giants, Jets, or the Eagles. Yeah, okay.
So every hockey game I go to, no matter where, and I've been to a ton of arenas, especially like I've been to, I saw the Devils, I've seen the Islanders. I wear my Red Wings jersey with pride, and yeah, I've gotten some problems, but so be it. It's a hockey game. Usually it just turns verbal. The only people that really get pushed around are the people that let people push them around. I mean, I find that I'm not ever traveling alone. I'm with other people who are like-minded like me. So it's like, what? Like, and again, being from Detroit, we never did that to anybody else. It's so weird. We're a legacy hockey team, and we never did that. You know what I mean? We never like shunned you if you came into the Joe with a whatever jersey. Like we were stoked you came up to see a game. Like, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I had fun. They had fun, and a lot of them stuck around after their game. They were hammered and they wanted to see the Lions game, and we were all watching it, and we all know what happened. And after the half, it was just like, some of those people were drunk, and they were like, I started hearing all the things I see on social media. I was hearing so many conversations about, I told you this shit was fixed. I told you. Like, it's just everywhere. I'm like, oh, damn it. And like, people are like, near the end of the game, somebody was like, you guys made every play in the first half, but you didn't catch a ball until the last 2 of the second, and you don't think it's fixed. Like, not going there with you. You've been drinking too much. But yeah. Anyway, then the next morning I drove back. As I came into town around noon, I got a curry right as I was pulling into Denver, like just 2 miles south of the highway, and it was going downtown, which just goes past my house, but it was for like $70, and I was like, I'll take it. So I took it. And then I came home and was just doing stuff around the house, trying to get tired so I can get a good sleep. And for some reason, I was still all adrenalined up, and I couldn't sleep that night. And my curry alarm went off at 2 a.m., which it never does. I mean, like once in every 3 months with some weird offer. And so it goes off and it says 4:30 a.m. pickup for $110 up like a mile from my house that morning. So it's 2 a.m. I've like kind of been barely sleeping. I look over at my phone. I'm like, $110 in 2.5 hours. I'm like, sure. Like, and then I get in the car at 4:15. I hit starting it, and another one comes up for 5 a.m. And I already had an 8 a.m. scheduled. I cranked in curry money. I mean, I haven't done anything since this week because I've been just destroyed. But yeah, it was. I probably put and here's the topper. A lot of people, when I put it out there that I was basically the round trip to Wichita was 1,000 miles. It was 996. But the pay was 968 or something. So I mean, let's just call it 1,000 and 1,000. So it was $1 a mile round trip. I mean, even for the deadhead miles back. It was $1 a mile. And so I put that, and most people, I put a little poll out, and most people, hey, Cray Cray, thank you. But I put, so when I put the post up, I said that, and I was just basing it on the Kansas trip, the 1,000 miles, the $1,000. If there had been no Detroit game, I could have got by with 6 to 7 hours. So it would have been 24 hours tops round trip from the time I left to get back here for $1,000. And I spent about 170 in gas. Okay. Now you can factor in a couple other things if you want, but bottom line is, let's just call it 800. I made $800 in 24 hours, you guys. And some people were saying, not worth it. Don't do that. Too many miles. Guess what? On top of that 1,000, I also get to write off $680 next year. And if I guess I get confused by that, because some people really don't get that. They're like, that's not money though. I'm like, I don't know where you live, man. That's absolutely money. Because it's going to save me, you know? I don't know. I mean, I started wondering if some people about the long trips, if it was just the hours, or if some people just wouldn't want to put their car through that, or maybe their car wouldn't make it. Maybe they're scared their car wouldn't make 1,000 miles. So that's what I say, because some people, one of the comments in there specifically said like, you know, I wouldn't want to do that many miles for that much. So I got in deeper with him, and we were chatting, and he, you know, he said, he goes, it's just not worth it. He goes, plus you're going to have to fix your car. You're going to have to do this. Guys, my car is my business. Like that, I talk about this on Last Mile. It's my business. Like if I put 20,000 miles on it, I'm writing them off, but the more miles, the better. Like I should be putting those miles on if it's my business. And if I'm putting them on highway instead of around city, because another person pointed out, dude, you're probably not that far off from the average of Steve per month, just going around the city doing DoorDash, and you're going to get in more accidents. You're hitting potholes. You're this, that, the other. I mean, I don't know. I was really, so I just wanted to know what you guys thought. 1,000 miles, $1,000. Let's pretend like that football game wasn't going on and you didn't need to stop. You were just going 8 hours each way and back. I mean, would you do that?
I would.
I would do it. I would do it.
I see. I've never been the driver that really cares about miles, like, but that's always been me. Like, I feel like I'm a gig worker. I knew what I signed up for, and you know, I'm going to put miles on my car no matter what I do. So, but that's always been my mindset since I started. So, you know, to me, $1,000. Why wouldn't you do it for $1,000?
Right. And I mean, like I said, I'm being honest, 170 for gas, those were my receipts, but let's call it 200, you know.
Yeah, but whatever, you're writing that off anyway, so it's fine.
Sure. Yeah. But my point is, at the end, when I get home, I had $800 for 24 hours.
And most people don't make $800 in an entire week doing food delivery or even grocery delivery. Like you just made $800 in 2 days versus someone making it in an entire week. So, hey, go get your money.
Tom, would you do it?
Absolutely. I love driving.
Yeah. No, I mean for that amount, for those amounts, those. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just, it was kind of confusing to me. I was like, dude, this is weird. Like $1 a mile. Look at guys. I'll be honest with you. If you're waiting to get on Curry and thinking you're gonna, and that's questionable to you, some will come in even cheaper. Some will come in more, but some are going to come in like that could have come in at $7.50. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I look at it as $1 a mile, and if they do 50 cents a mile on the way back, I'm still looking at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Curry, if you're listening, don't send me that crap, but you send me those good ones again. But I'm serious. I was surprised. And by the way, the poll, I put, would you take this? I put all the details that I just told you guys, and 110 votes, 20% no. I was pretty surprised, especially this time of year, in this economy, with the way the gig apps are performing. 20% of you said no, you would not work 24 hours to make $1,000.
Maybe
Do
they're
you
like
think
me.
parents?
Say maybe they're like me. Like I personally couldn't have done that. Like I can't
Yeah,
just pick up and leave, my daughter and, leave for 24 hours and come back just based off of like what's happening in my own home. So maybe they're like me and they're a parent with a little one and they can't.
But wouldn't you, if you saw a survey like mine is, and
Mhm.
on like a community post, and it said, "Hey, just curious," but my question was, did I take this? I said, "What do you think,
Mm.
you guys? This was my offer," and I put all the details. I said, "Did I take it?" And it was yes or no. 20% said no, and then a lot of comments too. Most positive, yeah, of course I would, all day, blah blah blah. But there were a couple who were like, "Dude, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Why would you put that many miles on your car?" I look at it like, look, man, if I put 200,000 miles on my car, that's because I made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's not
You
a
also
reason
have to
not to take something.
Yeah, and at
but you
that
also
point, if anything happens in my car, I'll get a new one.
but you also have to realize this is YouTube. People just say the opposite things just to say the opposite things because it's
Right,
YouTube.
and if it
That
wasn't
is
for the
true.
comments, I hear you. Another thing, by the way, another thing that while we're there that I don't like about YouTube, I don't like the community, the community posts with polls. The fact that I think that once you click something, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't like how you can
Can
click
you
like
change
yes,
it?
and
Yeah.
and then go no, 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 no.
Oh,
Ah.
I didn't choose what everybody else is choosing out. Let me go change it.
Yeah, I feel like whatever you click, it's like that's it. Even if you misclick, that's it. You're stuck.
Yeah, Instagram, you can't change it.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
No, on Instagram, you can't change it.
So yeah, so he's saying $1 a mile round trip is great run in a car or pickup.
Yeah.
Now in a semi. Yeah, see, I think some of these exist because of semis. Like, so what I learned from this one was that this was a Ferguson Plumbing. It was a Saturday pickup after 5. Okay, there's 3 Ferguson locations in Denver, huge warehouses. The biggest one is by me, but this wasn't at any of the 3. It was at this other place where it's an industrial area, and it just said plumbing supplies, 5 boxes, 50 pounds per box, 250 for the payload. And so I didn't know it was Ferguson. When I got to the place where I went, it was like Tom, you might know these names or whatever, but like Ferguson Plumbing ships all over the country from here. And they have 2 centers in Denver that if trucks or things don't pick up something that's supposed to go somewhere that week, on Friday midday, they ship them over to these centers to be hot shotted out on the weekends. And so like there were other loads there too, like things that were supposed to get places. And I don't know if maybe a truck didn't show or something, but I went over to when I got there, it was all Ferguson stuff. And so I knew, well, this should have come from their center, but they're closed today. So it was just them needing this to get there, and somehow it had missed a truck or something. I don't know, but because in my opinion, Ferguson ships so much, and Tom, Denver to Kansas, that's a straight shot on 70. Like,
Sure.
why wouldn't they just have shipped it to Kansas and then hot shot it to Wichita? I don't know. But I guess my point was, I'm stoked, but I'm stoked to learn these centers exist too. I don't know if it's because I know gas rates are down a bit, but I still know truckers are off the road a bit too. So I don't know if it's part of that, this again, guys, too, we're going to move into everything right now. But to be honest, this rule change that we were talking about last week and we've been talking about, if we'll see what happens with the app-based gig economy and how it affects it. But don't forget that it affects truckers so big. Independent contractor truckers are already, they're saying good luck with the supply chain. I saw an interview with a trucker who said, you guys thought that we had a supply chain problem a couple years ago? Just
Right.
wait till this happens.
Right.
And once that happens, all prices on everything we know change, including, believe it or not, potential of 20 to 30% increase in groceries.
Well, yeah.
I can't afford that. I guess I will not be eating anymore. I will be living on ramen noodles and bananas. I'm not kidding. I can't afford it. I can't afford it now. I make it work, but it's crazy what I spend at a grocery store for the same stuff I've bought forever. And if we start having a bigger problem with the supply chain, I can't even imagine it.
We're all
I don't
going to be living like we did when we were in college, like ramen noodles, peanut butter and jelly. Like everybody's going to be living like they're in college all over again.
But then we're gonna have that pandemic crap of like, there's no toilet paper and peanut butter, and you can't find
The
it
worst
anywhere.
though, during all of that, the worst though was baby
Cup of
formula.
soups and ramen is sold out everywhere.
Yeah, but wasn't it bad though? Like during pandemic when they ran out of baby formula, like I can't even imagine
Yeah.
like having a kid during that time and not being able to get your kid formula. That's horrible.
That was
Hey,
crazy.
look, 6 months before the last big inflation spike, I was running around telling everybody, watch out, here comes big inflation spike.
Mhm.
Listen to me. Hey, write it down, okay? And come back and look at this 6 months from today.
It's already happening right now, dude.
Finish my sentence. The inflation spike we're about to see is nothing. Is so much more than what we've seen in the last couple of years.
Hmm.
Okay, just because of what's happening in the Middle East, the Red Sea is all but shut down right now. And
Yeah.
what the ships are getting right this minute for trying to traverse that area, it's going to spike so much. And then you put on top of that the issues that are going to happen with the rule change and everything. It's going to be, this is beginning of February. Look at this at the beginning of August.
Hmm.
We're going to be shaking our heads going, what the hell just happened? We're going to be talking
Yeah.
about.
I was hearing about that today, Tom, like how these just fishermen shipping boats, not even like fleet ones, are getting like not only robbed but then sunk.
Oh yeah, I mean it's.
I mean, like just that's what they're doing. They're yeah. I mean, what we're hearing is it's just crazy. But we're in this world, isn't it crazy right now? Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, literally.
It's about to get worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've had this discussion with people too, and we won't go there, but I'm of the opinion I mean, everybody said we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay. It's okay. But we're just about to be in a recession. Like a bigger one than we think, maybe. I don't know. I guess I'll leave it at that because I've been reading some things that just are scary. They're just scary. So
Yeah.
let's move into some gig stuff. How you guys all doing with the gig apps? Not just the panel, but everybody in the chat. I've seen
Good.
Kim dropping some reality on DoorDash lately. You know,
When am I not dropping reality
I know,
on DoorDash?
but it's more of a common theme thing, like kind of like the political stuff I've been doing. It's not like you're talking about all kinds of different things like a lot of times you do. It's a common theme about mass deactivations and what the hell. And
Yeah, that was a big one, and I don't think people really like. I'm hoping it opened eyes to a lot of the crap that's going on, especially with earn by time and the crap that DoorDash is pulling and just deactivating drivers left and right due to abuse of not putting their orders as delivered, and it's called abuse of time. So
it's funny though, because we warned people of this.
we did.
We said, listen, we said this is going to make people be really slow on deliveries, but don't even think they're not going to start going, yo, that's supposed to take you 10 minutes. It took you 32.
Yeah.
We said that before the legislation even went into place. And now what's happening? Exactly that. People are taking 30 minutes to deliver something that should take 10.
Right. I mean, but you have dishonest. That's the whole thing, though. Like, it's like the good drivers versus the dishonest drivers. Like, you have dishonest drivers who are purposely not closing out the order until like they get back to their zone, which that's excessively late, right? So when you think about that, yeah, you should be like there should be some repercussions because you're not following the guidelines of what you're supposed to be doing. But then you get this person who is like super late because they get stuck in traffic or I don't know, make up a scenario, but they're getting caught in the crossfire of all of this. And they're like, nope, deactivation, they took too long for this order. Nope, deactivation took too long for this order. So it's like, are the bad apples causing the good apples to also be deactivated, and it's causing a mass deactivation right now because of earn by time.
Yeah, I mean, I think even before that, even before the fact that we knew people would abuse it, it's sad because, like, here in my market, I feel like earn by time. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty high when it's available. I don't know if you don't have it in your market, sometimes it has a lock on it, so you can't slide it over. But often when I schedule a dash even or whatever, as soon as I start, it either is there or it's not. When it's there, it's $18.50 an hour. But here's the thing, guys. I don't want to even slide that over and hit dash now. I'd rather go by offer from the get-go because that's DoorDash imposing control onto me and trying to see, oh, so you'd work for that. Yeah, I mean, some people can claim, yeah, I did it, but I made 30 that hour, 25 the second, and then, then the third, yeah, 18. Yeah, it's because they're learning. DoorDash is still learning, like, exactly how to exploit the crap out of you.
Yeah, but from what I've been, from the comments I've been getting about earn by time and, also just talking to a couple of people, because I really wanted to understand earn by time because I've done it many times just to kind of get a general idea from my own area. And I just don't get it. Like, to me, like, it makes no sense. I can do so much more on earn per offer. So those people who do it, I wanted to get why they actually really enjoyed it, particularly with earn by time in the area. And what I've learned from talking to people, it's very market specific. So if you're in a market where, like, you can go like longevity of time without getting orders, like earn
That's
by
me.
well, then there you go. But
I have
supposedly
a 15% acceptance rate, and on some evenings I see maybe 2 orders an hour. I used to see 50.
Yeah. I hate to say it, so I think we've talked about this before, but I think it's because you don't do enough of DoorDash so a lot of people don't realize with DoorDash, at least in a lot of markets, that the more you do, so I have 11,000 plus deliveries at this point. The more you do, the more accounts that you deliver to, the more offers you're going to get because you've already delivered this people. Like, they're about getting drivers out to houses that already you've delivered to. So if you ever get on your
breaking
phone,
the independent contractor rule. I can't wait.
yeah.
As much as I hate the rule change, I cannot wait for them to go under the microscope because they break it with AR, with their tier systems, with this, they're breaking it in 17 ways right now.
Yeah. But you just might not have like delivered enough to generate enough accounts in order to get offers as quickly.
I think that's why they keep showing me the earn by the offer. They're like, hey, loser with the 15%. I'm like, yeah, with the 5-star rating and the 96% completion rate. And you mean the stats that matter, that I have an A+ on every one of them, except for your stupid stat that isn't supposed to exist.
I feel like I've seen the people that use earn by time the most. It's exactly like what Kim said. When it's slow, so they turn it on, or between that like 2 and 4 p.m. That's when they do earn by time, because they're like, if I wait for an order, it's gonna take forever anyways, so might as well turn on earn by time. Yeah, they're gonna be driving a lot, because this is the thing that I always wonder. I get it. You might make maybe 20, luckily $30 an hour, but what exactly is your profitability though? Because DoorDash I see it. We don't have it in our market, but I see it with the content creators that I see, and they are driving a lot.
See, I didn't have that when the couple of times that I did earn per offer. I got it maybe once or twice. I used that as like my one decline per hour, but a lot of mine were quick and easy. Like, they were like 1, 2, maybe 3 miles, but it was low tip orders that added up. So you might get through 3 or 4 per hour to total your dollar per hour. And then, you didn't feel so bad because you were still making, a decent dollar per hour during slow times. I think that's the key. It's during slow times. Would I do this during a busy time? Absolutely. There's no way I would do this during a busy time. I can make so much more money on earn per offer during the busier times.
So My friend in Longmont had about a 22% acceptance rate. Really doesn't get much higher than that. He's done a lot of DoorDash. I actually have I have like 1,100 DoorDashes from Paradays from back in when I could see everything. You guys remember the Paradays when everything dropped down? No, they're lying to you. Here's all the real details. um, But when I was doing a lot of testing and stuff, so I mean, like, so I'm over 1,000. But here's the thing: my buddy has like 5, maybe 1,000. He's up in Longmont, 22%, and he's been getting the earn by time for 1,650, not Denver, but Longmont. And he told me that he said, "I'm just going to try it," because he was same as me. Just even though he had a bad acceptance, he used to see a lot of orders. Now he's not. I told him volume's down. He's like, "Yeah, but it's not down that much. They're getting funneled to these other people first." I'm like, "Yeah." So he did earn by time. And the thing that he told me was that a lot of times on earn by offer, he was basically doing same as me, like getting a 4-hour block and getting like 5, 6 deliveries, let's say. And he's like, "Dude, I'm just, and I'm like, I'd only turn down like 3. I'm just not getting offers." He said with earn by time, yeah, some are long distance, some aren't the best pay. There are some tips. There are still some of this. But he said that he was seeing an offer every 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got constant
So it's
orders.
like is it diamond that's the highest?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well,
like
it depends. It depends if you're in the tier program or diamond program.
Whatever the highest is. But he said he felt like it was probably like what that is. Like he was seeing all the offers, unlike that part though, where you guys have the ability to, as long as by the end of the month you're at the right numbers, you don't have to do it earn by time. He was seeing that volume of orders.
So I have my own theory.
So I guess my thing is, I think it's your only way if you ever want to get to 50, 70, 90 flower tier captain.
You can be like me and just maintain it.
No.
Yeah, but you gotta get to there though. Like to maintain
right, but
it.
Kim, I'm at 15%. I'm a bottom feeder.
It's painful. If anybody does the climb.
But I don't count on DoorDash. I do it for content and to test pulse.
Right. Well, DoorDash is still one of my main apps. But if you're doing the climb and want to be a top dasher, which the only feature is Dash Now, but I need it in my market in order to make money on DoorDash. If I didn't have Dash Now, I couldn't get a schedule. I couldn't make money on DoorDash. Like it would honestly, I actually need to be top dasher in my market to make money on DoorDash just based off the schedule and working whenever I want to work. But that's another story. But I have my own theory that so in my area, Earn by Time got rolled out October, November, somewhere around there. It was right before Christmas. And that was right around the time that a lot of markets got rolled out by Earn by Time. This is the thing, is I know me and a lot of people, all of a sudden DoorDash became non-existent, right? We all started seeing orders disappear. We weren't getting orders. And I was like, what the heck? I'm a top dasher. I'm in the diamond program. I'm in a large order I did everything right, but I wasn't seeing orders. I have a feeling whenever they roll out Earn by Time to some areas, they push a lot of the orders to Earn by Time to get people to do Earn by Time. And then people who aren't on Earn by Time sit around and wait because they're pushing a lot of orders to Earn by Time. That's my own theory. I have nothing to base it on, just observation.
I guess my question, we're going to move on, but my question to chat, if you guys want to type it in, I would love to see your answers. If you've done Earn by Time, and what that Earn by Time amount is in your market, and 2, if you did it even a couple, maybe 2, 10, 20 hours, how much did you average per hour when you were doing EBT? So if it was $12 is the guaranteed EBT, but you were doing 15, even if it's not good, I'd like to know what you guys who have tried it have done. I don't know. I'm with Kim. I don't think it's a good idea to do, and I think it's a tool that DoorDash uses to see how low they can bring the thresholds down. So I actually think it's a trick against drivers, to be honest. But so we got 3. Kim, why don't you do the 84-minute story, and then Tom will do his story, and then we'll talk about something that happened in Canada. And if we have time, I have a quick little ender about well, we'll talk about it if we have time.
So I don't even know where
This is weird.
This is so weird. I want to call this driver a dumb, you know what?
Kim swore again, man.
I won't, because it's not my show. It's your show. I won't do that to you.
I just mean when I met you didn't swear. It's like we wrecked you or something.
You totally. It's all you guys. You wrecked. Sometimes it's just so fitting though. Like this guy is just dumb. Like, so this couple decided to order from DoorDash, Wingstop, if I remember correctly, and they're waiting, and then all of a sudden they look at their phone, and it's saying that the driver, it's going to take 84 minutes for the driver to get to their house. To find out the driver was walking 4.5, 4.8 miles to this customer's house. So he went to Wingstop, picked up the order, and decided it was a really good idea for him to walk 4.5 miles to the customer's house for 84 minutes.
Well, he was also scared about canceling. Didn't it say? I thought it said something about he was afraid. Maybe
the customer.
No,
this
it was
is the
the
thing.
customer.
No,
Oh,
it was the customer. So the customer called Uber Eats and was like, "What the heck? My food's gonna get here in 84 minutes because this person's walking." And
so they don't have a filter on walking people. Like, why would a walking person see a 4 point?
It makes no sense.
Right? So this couple decides to call them and say, "Hey, listen, my food's saying it's going to take 80-something minutes to get there." And sorry, it was Uber Eats. And Uber Eats in particular said, "Oh, we're sorry, you can't cancel because we'll charge you a fee for canceling." And the customer's like, "What?" Oh, it was like, I can imagine it being like a 3-ring circus about dealing with support and them not understanding that.
Wait, so maybe I didn't see it. No communication between customer and walker.
No.
That sounded like an episode of The Walking Dead. The walker.
Right? But there wasn't. They didn't say, "Yo, can you jog?"
Well, the funny thing is the couple felt so bad they were actually gonna jump in their car, and actually go to the driver and say, "Hey, do you need a ride?" Because they felt bad that this guy was walking, but then they had a couple of beers and they couldn't drive. So
Yeah, I mean,
he got free. I guess
that
the
guy,
walker got free food because they can't.
did he not see that it said 4.6 miles?
But as a driver, do you go, "Hey, I need to get my step on"? Like,
well, as a driver, I have a car.
Okay, I don't want to call it a walker because that's creepy.
What do you want to call it?
A pedestrian.
Okay, so
no, I was gonna say Dasher, but it was Uber Eats.
A 2-footer. So when he 2-footed it, I mean, I don't know if I'm 2-footing, I'm looking for 0.3 of a mile. Like,
but I don't understand how.
Thank you, Cray Cray.
But Joe, even if his car is broken down, why would you think it's a good idea to walk 4.5 miles?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it sounded like he just does walk. I don't know. I didn't think it sounded like
he
a
was
car
an
broken.
actual driver who is a walking driver, but I don't.
But I don't.
But you can choose walk, bike.
You can?
Yeah.
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 I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Maybe
people
I'm
around
lazy
here
and just
who,
sit in my
and
car
I'm not
and
just talking electric bikes. I know people around here who have pedal bikes who do it. But they wouldn't take a 4.6 mile offer if they're walking.
But this is the thing. I thought that they would cap it depending on what method of transportation that you're put in.
Of course. I thought so too. Like, you know,
I
I don't
That's
don't
know,
get
really
it.
weird.
I don't
I
get
mean,
it.
that's obviously it's not good for business either. 84 minutes.
Like that's
Can you
crazy.
imagine
Oh,
if you're the customer and you're waiting on your wings because like you're like, oh, I really want my wings right now, and you look on your screen and you're like, I'm sorry, does it say 8 minutes or 84? Like you're like, what does that
And
say?
then staring at it and seeing him go at a 0 pace. Like, what the hell, dude? He's moving, but what's wrong with this guy? Because in my book, maybe they didn't know that he was walking.
No, it says on it.
No, the customers. Oh, it said walking?
Yeah, it said, yeah.
Okay.
Because they even said, like, why would Uber allow someone to walk that far of a distance?
Well, and I would have just called a Lyft and delivered it that way.
They could have called Hoopty Ride.
I would have just called Lyft. Listen, I took a stupid order. Can you take me there and bring me back?
I
But
don't
why
know.
did the
just
driver
mad.
it's Uber? Why didn't they just cancel? Cancellation
Yeah.
rates really doesn't matter on Uber. Why wouldn't they
It
just
doesn't
cancel?
matter at all. But a lot of people
Maybe-
think that it does matter, right?
Maybe he's homeless. It's a good workout.
What?
I don't know.
There are other ways to work out.
But yeah, I don't know. I found that ridiculous. There's too many ridiculous points about that, but it's one of those stories where yes, it came from the Daily Dot. However, it's true because there's too many people talking about it in this article for it not to be true.
Yeah.
So
It's not one of those Daily Dots where you're like, what? Like,
but if you actually go into like you can go into the TikToks that they actually talk about. I actually went into this person's TikTok, and as I usually do, and it had like 2 million views. His TikTok views, is that what it is? I'm like, I don't even know what TikTok is. But it had like 2 million. So people like it definitely got some attention.
wow. Oh, the one video.
The one video. It went viral.
Yeah.
Is it his whole walk live?
No,
No,
not
it's
him.
the
The
couple.
That would have been sweet. A walk along. Just,
Oh my gosh.
you guys, it's gonna take a long time. We're just gonna be walking.
you, me, and YouTube for 84 more minutes. Let's go.
I'm surprised somebody doesn't have a walking channel.
That would actually be kind of cool. There is a I used to follow her. It was a YouTuber. Her name is Sabrina. She still has a channel, but she was in Brooklyn and she did Uber Eats walk in Brooklyn, which is pretty cool. And she did a couple of videos on it.
I would imagine in Brooklyn it's a little easier.
Well,
I mean,
you
just
would
'cause
almost
New York, I
have
mean,
to.
I wouldn't even want a car. I wouldn't even want a car in New York.
I wouldn't want to drive.
No.
So,
Bumper cars for adults.
so Tom, I'm gonna let you put the spin on the story because Tom said he had a different spin.
I tell you what, we'll spend because we got to get out of here in about 5 minutes, right?
No,
I thought we finished at the top of the hour.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, we'll spend more time on it next week, but I'll give you kind of a heads up on where we're going with this, and that is the Chevron Doctrine. You know what the Chevron Doctrine is?
yeah. In fact, it's people have been saying to me, like a lawyer friend of mine in Reno said he watched the Kim Cavan thing I did with Pacific Legal, and he said I saw one of the comments in there from somebody about the Chevron case. He goes, I would think that would apply too.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chevron case, and we'll talk more about this next week, but Chevron versus the Department of Natural Resources 40 years ago, there was this vague law that was out there. And there's a lot of vague laws. Okay, so 40 years ago, the court said, yeah, that's pretty vague. So the Department of Natural Resources sued Chevron and said, you're violating one of our rules. And Chevron said, you don't have the right to tell us what we're violating. The law is vague. It doesn't say, I mean, that's up to Congress. And the court sided with the Department of Natural Resources. So for the last 40 years, departments like the Department of Labor, the Department of Natural Resources, whatever the department is, they have made, yes, Shannon, that's where I was going next too. But they have made the rules that clear up vagueness. And if you look at this new Department of Labor rule, it is vague all the way across the board, right? I mean, every bit of this is vague.
To be honest,
So-
guys, don't even go read the 330 pages. If you want,
Yeah.
read Kim's 18-page lawsuit.
So it's all very vague and doesn't make any sense whatsoever, so that the department can change the rules depending on, so, you know, if Steve gets in trouble, they can say, yeah, well, that rule applies to Steve, but it doesn't apply to Tom, but it does only part of it applies to Kim, because they make up the rules that cover the vagueness. Well,
Right, which is even brought into question. You could have a different agent, two different agents, like one day and one the next, not sharing notes, come and decide on me, and one could decide yes, one could decide no.
Exactly. So
that's how messed up it is.
The Supreme Court said the other day that they're going to take up the Chevron Doctrine, and most Supreme Court observers believe they're going to blow it up as being non-constitutional.
Yep.
If the Chevron Doctrine is unconstitutional, in other words, if there's vagueness in the law, either a judge has to decide or they got to kick it back to Congress and Congress has to fix it, which is, by the way, in my opinion, federal government is too big. That's, you know, the whole purpose of the Constitution was to have a small federal government not making all these decisions, especially the executive branch not having this kind of power. So if something's vague, it shouldn't be fixed by the people who made the vagueness, right? So if you made it vague, if Congress passed a bad law, Congress needs to fix it. But that's not the way it's been for the last 40 years. It's going to create chaos upon chaos. It's going to be a big mess. Like I said, we'll get into more details on this next week. But the idea is that, okay, so this rule goes into effect on March the 11th, but by midsummer, if they do blow up the Chevron Doctrine, now all this vagueness doesn't mean anything because the department won't be able to fix it and impose their will willy-nilly wherever they want to.
I also here's a weird thing I heard about the Chevron Doctrine about a week ago, was that, or 2 weeks ago, when it first was starting to get the buzz, and there was maritime fishermen or whatever, like the ones that leave from port in LA and whatnot. If like they did a piece on a single in shape woman who ran her own fishing boat. She went out every day, she ran her own boat, it was no crew, just her. Now the National Weather NOON of Atmospheric Research, which is NCAR, which is here in Boulder, Colorado, would be given the rights to monitor boats. And here's where it gets weird. For her to run her boat, she would have to employ somebody to be on the boat with her to make sure she's not taking over the capacity of fish that she's allotted.
What?
I'm not shitting you.
Right.
That's like, there's an example of Tom saying how it's going to be a case by case. Just what the hell happened?
Yeah, it's going to get really, really messy.
But like, that's already a done thing. Like, they've already established that would happen to every fisherman who's a solo fisherman. You would have to employ somebody that goes out every time your boat goes out and would have to monitor the amount of fish you caught. I'm thinking, well, if there's 100 boats at a dock, can't you just have one person on the dock who counts them, you dumbass?
Exactly.
Like, why you got...
So we're going to talk about that more next week. The other thing we're going to talk more about next week, but we'll touch on it right now, is Craig's question that was posted in chat a few minutes ago. Super Bowl Sunday strategy, DoorDash or Instacart? And my response was Rideshare. I made a ton of money year before last on Super Bowl just taking people from bar to bar. Because I mean, it's just.
But this year it's in Vegas.
One to Mike's, so people are going to be,
No, it's not about. I'm talking about people watching the Super Bowl at different
Oh,
bars.
okay. Anywhere. So
At least here in my area of Houston, you're making the circuit, right? We're going to go to timeout 2 for the first hour. Then we're going to go over to, for quarter number 2, we're going to go over to Mike's and all this kind. And so I just made the circuit going from bar to bar to bar, moving people from here to there, and it was one of my best days ever. And a lot of fun too, because everybody getting in the car was having a blast, and I had the game going the whole time, and in video on the back seat, so they could watch it while we're going from bar to bar, and so it was a blast, and so
and that's a good tip, you guys. I mean, it's a clear.
That's a really good tip.
If you're doing rideshare, have the game on. Have both teams' colors in your car. Even if you prefer one, like just be neutral, have the game just have that buzz and that feel in your car. It will help with tips. Trust me.
Yeah. No, I had a blast that night. And so that's, but I don't like doing as you all know, I hate the food delivery stuff in Houston because we have too many apartments, and I had to take one to apartments. And
yeah,
I'm not going to carry your hamburger up four flights of stairs. Not going to happen.
I'm not big on food delivery either. I throw a little in here and there. I don't really see much Uber Eats. DoorDash is mainly a testing thing. So is Uber Eats really. Most of my stuff
answer's
is really
both.
become.
Yeah.
For me, I'll do
different
Instacart.
times.
Yeah, for me, I'll do Instacart in the morning to early afternoon, and then right before maybe an hour or 2 hours before pregame, I'll swap over to food delivery to get LOP, so that way I kind of get best of both worlds. So I'll do both.
Yeah, because
first 2
Instacart's
weeks
going to die down after a while.
Yeah.
No one's buying anything to cook.
No,
Right.
it's all
So
going to be in the
then-
morning and early afternoon.
Exactly.
Well, people might be buying like snack platters.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
still,
No, that's
that
going to be
before.
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right before. Yeah.
But even during the, at halftime, they're going to order up another snack platter from Chili's or whatever. And
Well, that's why you swap to food delivery. Usually, what pregame is what I don't even remember what time pregame is.
Well,
But anyway,
I think the game's at 5:30.
5:30. So usually
And for
around
those, and by the way,
3,
guys, for
4.
those, I've seen too many of these on TikTok. For those of you, and I only know this because I'm doing production work with her in October in Miami. But for those of you who are under this strange impression that Shania Twain is or that Taylor Swift is doing the halftime show, she ends a 4-night run of shows the night before the Super Bowl in Tokyo. So she's not going to be there.
I forget who it was though. Wasn't it like Usher or something?
I'll
Who
put
is it?
$100 on it right now, Steve, because what people are forgetting is that
Is it a day ahead?
she's 17 hours ahead, so
Right.
she can easily get back Saturday night.
But then she has shows again in Australia.
Yeah, well, she'll be back. No problem.
Maybe
I was
they'll
right.
do
It's
some like
Usher.
virtual thing. Maybe it'll be like
No,
the
but-
first hologram thing ever.
No, but they
Where
have
they bring her
Usher
in from
as the
space.
halftime
Yeah.
show. I can't picture Usher
Well, she's
and
not doing
Taylor
the show.
Swift
She's not doing
meshing
the
very
show.
well together.
No. She's not doing the show. She's going to show up though for the game. She's
Oh,
going
show
to
up! I thought you meant like
Oh.
halftime show, and I'm like,
No,
there's
no.
no way they already
All
have
right, guys
Usher.
in the chat. All right, everybody in the chat. Who thinks Taylor Swift, who is starting a world tour that goes all the way through the early December, that starts next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Tokyo, and then the following Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Australia, thinks she's going to pop back for the Super Bowl?
I think she'll be there.
absolutely.
Woo!
I
I
must
do.
say, I just really love the fact that, Steve, you are so in the know. I know it's because of the lighting and stuff, but you are so in the know with Taylor Swift right now.
Well, I mean, if I'm doing something for somebody, I always know the tour dates. That's
Honestly, I don't. Honestly, if she is in love with him, as everybody says that she's in love with him, and the publicity behind it, there's no way that they'll miss a publicity moment with her not being there.
She'll be there.
She'll be there.
all
She'll
right.
take a private jet.
All right.
Are we going to take a bet on that? Well, we won't bet on the game. Are we going to bet on whether Taylor Swift will show up?
I was just trying to see what everybody else thought. I don't think she will, but I hear what you guys are saying. I think that if she was anywhere else closer, yeah, okay. But I've done world tours, or I haven't been to Australia or New Zealand, but I've been everywhere
She can
else.
easily catch right after the show on
It's
Saturday.
first
she
of
can
all,
easily
Kim,
catch a
it's
red eye.
never easy. Like when you're
When you
out
have
that
private
far, it's never
and you're
easy
rich, it
getting
is.
home. But yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean,
I
again,
see.
yeah, she can hire a private plane. Yeah, of course. But
So that's
I
what
don't know.
private jets are for.
I don't know.
Not like she
I just-
she flies commercial anymore.
It's a hell of a long flight, and then it's a really long flight back to Australia.
Yeah, but don't forget, she's not performing, so she doesn't have to be like, at her
No.
best.
Yeah, I was watching Nola the other day. By the way, you guys, if you don't, Tom, you play a lot of poker.
This channel is
Nola
amazing.
Nola's in New Orleans. He plays a lot of poker, and so does Lou from
I was
Long
telling
Island
Tom
Dash
about Lou
Experience.
before the show.
Yeah, but Nola plays a lot too. And these guys are really good too. But I was watching his live the other day, and he goes, he got into that NFL is scripted thing. He goes, there's just no way around it. He's like, this thing's scripted. He's like, the Ravens were supposed to win. Kansas City pulled that. I was listening to it, and everything he said made sense. But I've been hearing all that from so many people. But when he said it's in the contract, I'm thinking about how he was saying it was scripted. Everything's scripted. Because I've seen there's just so many people these days putting up the NFL is bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
Tom, what did you
Busted
just
it
post? I'm just curious. What did you just post?
It's just an article about how she's going to be there because she is the biggest NFL ad that they've ever had.
Oh, can we talk about that for a half a second? Did you guys hear what DoorDash is doing for the Super Bowl?
oh,
Did you
giving
guys
away
hear that?
BMWs to condoms
Yeah.
or something.
They're
What?
giving away. No, they're giving away. They're giving away for one lucky winner every commercial that actually has a product on the Super Bowl. So there's a BMW, a Volkswagen. It's like a whole laundry list of stuff. The only thing that they can't give away is alcohol, cigarettes, like anything like that. Any pharmaceutical companies, but anybody who has an ad on, they're giving it away to one person.
If I won that, I would immediately get the best lawyer, sue DoorDash, and say, I saw your company on that commercial. It's mine.
I'm sure they have the rules already posted.
I'm pretty sure their lawyers are already on top of that one.
Why are they doing this?
Speaking of
To
ads,
promote that they could basically bring anything to anybody's door.
Oh my gosh.
watch ABC tomorrow. Anytime tomorrow. Watch ABC.
Yeah, this is it's all over. I don't know
Yeah.
you can already enter now. I don't remember where I saw it too. Somewhere you can already enter.
It came across as my Google alerts for DoorDash News. That's how I knew about it.
Do you guys know about the ABC ads tomorrow?
No, what is
Do
it?
you remember Ned Ryelson from the Groundhog Day movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
1/3 of all of the ads on ABC tomorrow will be Ned Ryelson trying to buy chips, going in all sorts of different he's buying Doritos, and the next 30 minutes later he's buying Lay's, and all. You got to see them. Over 30% of all commercials will be one group tomorrow and be Ned Ryelson.
Why?
Did they actually get the actor who plays Ned Ryelson to
Yes.
do it?
Yes.
That's actually Groundhog Day is actually one of my favorite movies. I love that movie.
Yep. So if you like Groundhog Day, you'll get a kick at it tomorrow. Starts with
By the way, that guy's done a lot more than just that.
Oh, he has.
He's
Well,
like-
the only
he's
thing
been
I
in a lot
remember,
of crap.
Ned Ryelson.
Yeah. That's because you hear it 50 times.
I know.
It's a repeat.
Phil, Ned Ryelson.
While I'm putting together next week's group of people, Nola, if you would like to be one of those people, you should email me. I'll make sure, because Kim and I are gone. Tom and Cheyenne are going to be running it, and I need 3 other people. So that'd be awesome if you could join them.
Cool.
But I want Cheyenne to talk to us. She doesn't do rideshare. She said she didn't, I don't do it. So I don't know if I want to talk about it, but I'm interested because they just did in Canada what we've been pushing here to everybody, or they're about to. Do you want to
Yes. So, first of all, I don't do rideshare, as Steve said. So I was like, oh, I didn't even realize they didn't have this. But so for those that don't know, Uber in Canada, I'm not sure if in the US as well, but there is a union that like represents not the workers, just the drivers. They say drivers and couriers. So I guess not the actual employees. But anyways, so it's the same union that helps Disneyland Resorts, CVS, and a whole bunch of other companies. So they have been working with Uber Canada for the past 2 years to help about 447 drivers and delivery people resolve different issues. Some of them were deactivations and some of them were just like regular issues in their account. And the latest thing that they are going to be doing is, well, there's 4. Upfront fare and destination information. So just like delivery people, so this is why I didn't even know that they didn't have this. They're going to be able to see information about the trips before accepting the trip, including the fare that they're going to get and also the destination. Like, how crazy is it that there are Ubers out there that don't even know where they're going? Like that.
That's
it
how
just doesn't make
that's,
any
I mean,
sense.
we just got upfront pricing and fares, not, you know, all over the country in different times in different states, but it's only been for the last year. Up until then, you never knew.
Wow. That's just dangerous.
No, you
That's
just
crazy.
knew where the pickup was and was there a surge and what the price was. And
That's
then
so
once
unusual.
you got them, you knew, obviously, but like until you got there, you didn't really.
In UberX in New Jersey, they still only show 5 minutes away, and that's it. That's the only thing comes
That
up
is
with
so dangerous.
UberX.
There's
Yeah.
no way. Wow. So they said that this is going to
Yeah,
be
so-
rolling out in Ontario and British Columbia later on this year. So that's for the upfront fare and the destination information. Then they also have something where they say that they're going to be protecting drivers against like false accusations or like unfair ratings. You know, like, oh, you know, the driver did this, I need a refund, or the driver did this, they should be deactivated type of situation. They mentioned that they're going to identify consumers that are kind of doing these false reports more and more often, so that they can, you know, spot the bad ones and not have the driver's ratings affected and not be deactivated because of this. So that is a good thing. They say that that's live across the country right now. So happy about that. The other thing is seatbelt alerts. So I didn't even realize, but yes, it's true. You know, like when you're doing rideshare, you do want the person to buckle up because they're supposed to buckle up. But I didn't even realize that some people just don't want to.
They're in the
do it.
back.
Yeah, I know you're in the back, but you should still buckle up.
I don't.
Even if you're in the back, you should still be buckled. So now they're going to be putting seatbelt alerts into the riders' apps to let them know, like, hello, buckle up at the start of your trip kind of thing. And then the last one is record my ride, where there's going to be a new pilot feature where drivers are going to be able to record the trip from their smartphones, like the front facing camera. So this is to avoid them from having to purchase like body cams or anything like
Then
that.
how do you do
Or-
GPS and that at the same time?
My camera does both.
You can't record while you're using your GPS?
I don't know. I've never tried. I've never tried
Well,
it.
but maybe what they're doing through the app will allow it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Because
Like,
technically
how
the
does that
app is
work?
still going, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the recording will be right through the app. Who knows?
Yeah. So the
Mhm.
app is still going. So if they're going to be pushing it out there and they're going to be using the front camera, I'm assuming they're using the front camera because they know that the driver is going to be using the phone to know directions and all that kind of stuff. So this is what I'm assuming. They're still going to be recording through the app. So that's
Yeah,
pretty cool. I didn't
is-
realize that like a lot of things they didn't have, but then also the fact that, you know, they're going to be able to record and they're going to be able to, you know.
Yeah, here you
spot the
can.
bad
So I
apples.
see Traveler saying it too. Here you have the it's your choice. You can register your dash cam. If you do, then they can grab footage, or I don't even really know what it does, because most dash cams are SD cards, so they can't really grab your information anyway. I don't know why anybody would. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on what the hell the perk is.
It tells the writer ahead of time that you're recording, and what else does it do? Anyway, my cameras are registered, but I've never ever given a rideshare ride without cameras.
Oh, of course not. But Kim and I use Display Ride, so I can say, go ahead, grab it. You're already on it, and it uploads to the cloud, brother. You're already like, if you grab that right now, you're already screwed. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Like my old cameras, SD cards, you grab it, you run, you got it. I didn't have any cloud upload. So I don't know what Uber, like when you register it, Tom, is it just then to see, why do they need the number though? Because they can't, unless you're cloud uploading, they can't access your camera.
No.
So I guess that's where it's weird to me. Anything like that Uber does, like, hey, you want to register your camera? It doesn't cloud upload. Yeah, we still want it. Why? Why?
Well, I think because what they were saying, it alerts the rider.
Right.
So if you register it,
I guess my point is, like with most things, we just take pictures. Hey, do you have a catering bag? Take a picture. Okay, well, there's my dash cam. Like, given a serial number, why? I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. I just can't wrap my head around. I don't know why you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It tells the rider they're being pre-recorded. I get that. But yeah, I mean, like if the rider grabbed it and stole it, and you're like, glad I registered it, and you called Uber, what are they going to do for you?
Yeah.
That's
well, if you have Display Ride on top of them and being automatically uploaded to the cloud, you get that message as soon as someone goes into your car. You are currently being recorded.
Yeah, and even if they stole it, you can send it to Legal Rideshare too. Mm-hmm. Like all in like a button.
Wow.
You guys, like, I'm not, look at Tom said it right. Just have a dash cam, period. Doesn't matter. But make sure you got something. But I would look into cloud ones. I'm not trying to push Display Ride down anybody's throat. I do like it myself, but like just have a dash cam, but I would look at cloud ones, and there's very few. Because people are like, especially in Southside Chicago, every rideshare driver that gets jacked, every one, they take the dash cam. I mean, they've gotten that kind of smart. So like the other thing about Display Ride is once it's unplugged, it records for 2 minutes. So you got 2 minutes of them running. It's still uploading to the cloud. And it's like, oh, he went northwest, and he's hiding behind that building.
Yeah, exactly. Joe, yes, it's an extra monthly fee, but don't forget, this is a business, so it is a tax write-off.
It is a tax write-off.
And the camera's free.
Yeah.
I mean, good.
To me,
I've had a few dash cams. My favorite one was, I think it was $250.
The way I look at it is, I feel like it's like another subscription to something, whether it's like Netflix or whatever. Like, I feel like it's just another subscription.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah.
We're not employees.
It's actually better than a subscription, because like a Netflix or something, that doesn't really bring any value to you. Whereas this, it brings value and it's a tax write-off. So it's like a win-win.
If you have an iPad and you do rideshare and you play Netflix in the back, you can write it off.
Ah.
I mean, I don't think you can, guys. I don't think you can, guys. Don't do that.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
You can definitely find an accountant that can make that work.
Oh, yeah. I'm not an accountant, but I can make it work.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. 100%.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for this week, you guys. So next week, Kim and I, we're gone, but we're back the following week.
Sorry.
And the following, next week's going to be awesome, you guys. But the following week, again, if you weren't here in the beginning, February 15th, 2-year anniversary, we're going to be doing some fun stuff. Gary will be here. And we have another special guest, and we're going to do some giveaways and have some fun and maybe make fun of some gig stuff. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna make it unique and different, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't miss it. But don't miss next week either, because even with us not here, with Kim and I not here, I'm sure these guys are gonna put on a great show. So come and see who else we get, and until next week,
we're gonna have fun.
What's up?
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So until next week, though, you guys, thanks for joining us, and be smart. What did I say? Be safer and smart, and be good to each other. Why did I screw that up? Good night, you guys. And don't be a dick.